Sit down wherever you want to. Alright? There you go.
They changed it.
I think this is going to be our big crowd today.
Good.
Whew.
That's good.
Yeah, we have a show after
You guys get to have a private tour today, alright?
Yeah.
Is that cool?
I think we may have one more family coming out of the boat.
Alright, good.
Had somebody.
We're going to wait a second to see if anybody else is coming, alright? Don't want to start it there, so they don't
I
stand
think
up.
they went the other way, Scott.
Alright, sounds good. Looks like they're not interested. So welcome to the Exploration Cave here at Dinosaur World. My name is Scott. Everybody say, hey Scott.
I saw her.
Alright, thanks for being here today. Today we're going to talk about paleontology. I know that's a big word, but don't be afraid. I'm here to explain it to you, alright? Paleo, the very first part of that word, that's a Latin word, and it means old stuff. And paleontology means the study of old stuff. Now I know there's nothing older than a fossil. You guys want to see a fossil today?
Yeah.
Alright, you're in luck, because I got a way cool fossil right here. Now I'm going to show you this fossil. I want you to tell me what you think it is, alright? Adults have to play too. Alright, here we go. What do you think that is? What? Tell me.
The very back of a dinosaur's tail.
Could be the very back of a dinosaur's tail. Kind of looks that way. What do you think?
The middle of the body.
The middle of the body could be a rib cage, right? Right. Adults, what do you think? Fern. Alright, what do you think?
It looks like a fern.
Alright, what do you guys think? Fern. Alright. Well, the adults were right, alright? They saw it for what it was, but you guys have imagination.
Yeah.
Alright? And you have to have a good imagination as a paleontologist because you don't know sometimes what you're looking at. Alright? You gotta kind of guess what it is. Yeah, that's a fern leaf, okay? But I showed you this fern leaf to prove to you that not all fossils are dinosaur fossils. Many times paleontologists pay attention to all sorts of other fossils. Fern fossils, bug fossils, fish fossils, all sorts of things, alright? Anything that was prehistory or what you guys like to call prehistoric, alright? Now I know you're not here in Plant City to see a plant fossil, are you? No. You want to see a dinosaur fossil, don't you? And I got one right here. Here it is.
Look what he's got.
Alright.
Let's pick another one.
Well, you think it's a tooth? What do you think?
Yes.
You think it's a tooth? Nope, you're wrong. It's a claw.
Oh,
I was messing with you. I held it like that to mess with you. Alright? That's a claw, but I'll tell you what. There's a clue on this fossil to let me know that it's a claw and not a tooth. You want to learn that clue?
Yes.
Alright, if we take a look right here, you'll see right on the side, right down the bottom, there's a groove. Can you see that groove right there?
see what he's talking about.
Alright?
Right side.
And there's another one right on the other side. Alright?
Yeah.
That's where the blood vessels and tendons held that into the dinosaur foot. Teeth don't have grooves like that. Teeth are all smooth all around. Alright? But these, many claws had grooves like that. Some of those animals, some of those dinosaurs could pull them in and out whenever they wanted to. That was called a reticulating claw. You might know an animal at home does the same thing. They're called kitty cats. Alright? This belonged to a really big dinosaur called the Spinosaurus. Dun dun dun. Spinosaurus, the biggest, baddest predator we found so far. In fact, this is going to blow your mind. He's bigger than T-Rex.
Wow.
Yeah, T-Rex was about 35 feet. This guy was about 45. He was really big. See that big old crocodile mouth of his? He loved to go in the water and eat fish. That big spine on his back, let him cut through the water. Yeah, he swam. Yeah. Yeah.
Does his head go under?
Yeah, head goes under and everything, yeah. He was a big guy and he liked to go in the water and eat fish. They call him piscivore, that's a fish eater, right? That was his little baby toenail, right? Little tiny thing, yeah.
Wow.
So that was just the very edge
Big
of his.
dinosaur for a small claw.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you guys ready to go and see how we dig up fossils out at the dig site?
Yes.
All right, we'll stand on up and head out the back that way. Caroline's waiting out at the dig site for you.
All right, thank you, Scott.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Jesus.
Sure. Thank you. Keep on making new improvements.
Yes. More dinosaurs too.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so glad you came here today. Look at that private tour. This is really nice.
Well, welcome to the dig site. My name is Caroline. I'm the paleontologist in charge of the excavation today. Now, if you look behind me, it's really obvious we're not in Florida anymore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys traveled a long way in just that little bit because we do not find land-dwelling dinosaur fossils here in the state of Florida. During the Mesozoic era, the time of the dinosaurs, Florida was underwater. Okay? So we have to go outside of Florida if we want to find land-dwelling dinosaur fossils. Here in the United States, the best place to go is out west. Think anywhere from Colorado all the way up into Montana and Wyoming. Although we do find dinosaur fossils on every continent in the world, even Antarctica. During the time of the dinosaurs, the Mesozoic, Antarctica was not frozen. So we have to keep in mind what the Earth was like at the time the dinosaurs lived there, not how it is today.
So like in Antarctica, the same time about as dinosaurs lived, Ice Age was?
No, Ice Age was much, much later than that. Ice Age was only several thousand years ago. We're talking dinosaurs millions of years ago. And that's an important thing to remember. Not all dinosaurs lived in the same place, and not all dinosaurs lived at the same time. So whenever we're looking for dinosaur fossils, we need to keep in mind, where are we and when in time are we? Okay, how far down we're digging to find stuff. So how do we find dinosaur fossils? Well, erosion is our friend. With wind, rain, mudslides, floods, rock slides up in the mountains, expose new earth. And we see stuff sticking out of the ground and we go in to investigate. Now, very important rule number 1, okay? Never dig unless you have permission. Don't go digging up your backyard, all right? People have gotten into really, really big trouble for digging where they weren't supposed to. Now, we got out here, and one of my interns brought this to me, very excited, saying, "Caroline, look, I found a fossil." And I had to really disappoint him. Yeah. Somebody dropped a chicken bone after lunch. Okay? It takes at least 10,000 years for a bone like this to become a fossil. If it is buried in just the right circumstances, the minerals from the soil and water will get inside this bone, leaving tiny deposits. And over a very long time, that fossilization process will turn this bone into rock. All right? So remember, bone is bone, but fossils rock.
That's right.
All right. Now, I said we need to keep in mind where we are and when in time we are. Okay? Right? We are in Montana.
That's Montana.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay? Now, we found this fossil, which is a huge clue as to what is under here. So look at this and tell me what you think this might be. Any ideas? What do you think?
Maybe a megalodon tooth?
Megalodon tooth, in fact, funny enough, is shaped a little bit differently. This is too big to be a tooth and the wrong shape for a megalodon tooth. Use those imaginations. What?
Dinosaur's claw.
Dinosaur's claw, that is a good guess, but we see no bifurcation groove in it, so we know it's not a claw. How about if I model it? What do you think?
A horn on its like Triceratops.
You know, you are exactly right.
What did he say?
This is a horn from a Triceratops, although this is from a baby Triceratops.
Wow,
This core would have been covered with a material like our fingernails that would have made it even a little longer and very sharp and pointed, very smooth. But this core alone on a fully grown Triceratops could easily be 3 to 4 feet long. All right? So this tells us what time we're digging. We're digging in Montana in the late Cretaceous period, which is towards the very end of the era of the dinosaurs. So that is a huge hint as to what's under here. You guys want to see?
Yes.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Cool, huh? Now when we started digging on this, we started with picks and shovels, but I don't want to use this anymore because it could really hurt my fossil, right? So now I am going to go very high tech, $1.99 from my local department hardware store.
Wow.
All right, now looking at the clues that we see, remember paleontologists are prehistoric detectives. We're looking for these clues. So look at these long, sharp, curved teeth. Do you think it ate meat or plants?
Meat.
Yes, definitely. This is a carnivore. Very good. Now I see a huge heavy brow ridge, a great big eye hole, a huge nose
I can see that.
here, a deep jaw with a blunt squared off chin. But there's another clue I'm looking for, and I'm starting to uncover that here. Yep. That kind of tells me, since we are in Montana in the late Cretaceous period, and I am seeing all of these clues, especially these, I can tell you we are looking at the skull of a juvenile T-Rex.
Wow.
If this were a fully grown T-Rex, we could add easily a foot onto the length of this skull. And T-Rex's teeth, fully grown, were anywhere from 6 inches to a foot long. So think banana-like teeth, okay? But this is a huge hint here. See this little nub? That is called a new growth tooth, all right? T-Rex had a really cool capability. Whenever he lost a tooth, it grew back throughout his entire life. Just like sharks today, they were constantly regenerating teeth.
So like, you know, like.
How many sets of teeth do we get?
2.
2.
But if we lose both, we don't have any more teeth. But if they already lose 2, they can grow like.
All their lives long, they kept growing teeth and growing teeth, which is why you will never see a T-Rex with perfectly even teeth. See, he's got several here that are the same length, but then there's this one, okay? See how his teeth are all uneven? Because he was constantly growing in new ones. But if you look right here, it looks like he bit something on this side of his mouth, that he was regenerating these teeth when he died. This guy's probably only 12 to 15 years old.
Wow.
Okay, so he's a young one. Now, I said it was important to think about when and where we're digging, because if we were in Argentina digging in a little earlier time period, we would be looking at a Giganotosaurus. Okay. But this tells us it's a T-Rex. Yeah, Giganotosaurus, that's a funny name to say. Now, it's going to take me and my team anywhere from 3 months to 1.5 years to get this out of the ground, depending upon where we find it. We can't be digging in Montana, right now, because of the snow, so our time window sometimes to dig is very short. And is it buried in rock or compacted clay? And how much of the dinosaur is here? Is it just the head, or is it the whole dinosaur? Very rarely do we find an entire animal. Even Sue, the most fully articulated T-Rex that has ever been found, was only about 76% complete. A lot of times the bones get scattered long before it even undergoes fossilization, whether it's by scavengers or by weather. And so, you know, who knows? Plus, we're going to have to do a little bit of preservation on it, but I'm going to show you how with this, take this for me, spray. What he's got is a bottle of consolidant, which is like a super glue resin. All right, excellent. And then we're going to take this brush and we're going to paint that all down in the cracks there. When you guys go through the museum, look at the fossils, you'll be able to see the consolidant down in the cracks. All right, give it a go. Now what this is doing is putting a coating on it and helping hold this together. Yeah? Very good, all over, really good, really good. Excellent, excellent. Now once this dries, what I'm going to do to it is I'm going to actually put it into a field jacket. This, a cast, just like a doctor would on a broken bone for you. This is going to protect it so that it can be sent back to the museum or university into the lab where they can crack this open and study it with all of the equipment that I can't have out here in the field. So cool. All right, you guys have one more step. Scout's waiting for you in the next room with some fossils that we've already preserved and cleaned up.
Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you very much.
Come on in, guys. I got around my little
Thank you.
steel devices right here.
How old is he?
It's pretty cool.
3.
Oh, well, he must really like them.
All right, everybody come on in, gather around my little coelophysis. Can you get up here and sit over this? Can you see that guy? Good job, all right. This little guy is called the Coelophysis. He's pretty cool. You know what's cool about him? Is that we found the whole skeleton. Remember what Caroline said? We normally don't get to find a whole skeleton. We find pieces of it, and we gotta puzzle everything together. Well, with this guy, we found the whole skeleton. And what's even cooler is we just didn't find one whole skeleton. We found about 100 whole skeletons.
Wow.
A herd of these guys were running through a field in a place called the Ghost Ranch in New Mexico, when either a volcano went off or a mudslide or a meteor strike killed the entire herd. Lots of them were laying all on top of one another. That's why we know it was a big herd of them, all right? And like I said, we found a whole bunch of these guys, full skeletons. It's one of the biggest finds of a dinosaur graveyard ever, all right? Now, a lot of people ask us about dinosaurs, how do we know what they had to eat, all right? And I say we gotta look inside their stomachs. And this guy is a prime example of that. If you look right there, you'll see that he has his last meal fossilized in his stomach along with him.
Wow.
All right, those long bones right there, well, that's his rib cage. Okay, all those long bones. But that one right there, that's a little bone of somebody else, and that one right there, that's a little bone of somebody else too. And that looks to be like a feather right there. So he probably had a small feathered reptile to eat before he died. So he was running through the field, a very happy little Coelophysis. He had a full tummy. And then that meteor struck it, and that was it for them, all right?
Wow.
So I want you guys to now explore on your own. I got 10 really cool fossils around this room. You guys can check them all out. You can touch them. You can read about them on the clipboard. And Caroline and I are going to be over here to answer any questions, all right?
Thank you. Wow.
That's what we saw earlier.
Yeah, but this one is
Tyrannosaurus rex vertebrae.
Allosaurus.
Oh my gosh.
This is an Allosaurus. That's like a T-Rex. This is the one that's rising. See how the different teeth are coming like she was showing us? Yeah, this is rising. Yeah.
And you'll notice that guy, that little juvenile Allosaurus, he was a lot like T-Rex, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of dinosaurs have that same kind of skull and they look all, they kind of all alike. So.
This one looks tiny though.
This is a very small one. It's a juvenile. It's a young one.
So juveniles would be what age?
Could be anywhere
From birth?
Yeah, birth to 15 years old.
Have you ever seen this before?
So that doesn't just mean like teeny.
No.
No? Ever been to a dentist where they clean your teeth? This is what they use to clean your teeth. But it makes a really good instrument for cleaning tonsils. And so what I'm doing right now is using this magnifying glass to clean very carefully some of the rock and dirt off of this fossil so that I can see it better. Now, I'll show you the difference. There's one. I worked on this one
This is like a
for a very long time. Alright, look at it at the microscope. See how
Yeah, that is a squid.
right?
It would have been yeah. It would have been the shell. It would have been the shell and he had tentacles in there. So they were as big as this or the
So
size
you
of
want to
my
see another really cool fossil? Remember Scott was saying, people ask us, how do we know what dinosaurs ate?
For the what?
This fossil is called coprolite. Can you say that? Coprolite. Coprolite. Coprolite is fossilized dinosaur poo. It's turned into rock now.
Wow.
And it is really cool. Some people get grossed out and it's like, it's a rock. It's not like I'm touching poo. Well, I am touching poo, but it's a rock now.
How big is your food?
Yeah. Now, what's really cool about this is we can look at this under a microscope and see what the dinosaurs ate. We can actually see undigested bits of plant matter or bone or undigested bits of meat. And we can even sometimes see what the migration patterns, how they traveled. For example, if they ate these plants way up here, but we found the poo way down here, we can see how the dinosaurs traveled. Cool.
So like where it's traveling?
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't that awesome? This is a claw from a baryonyx. This guy right here, who is a smaller cousin to the Spinosaurus. He had one of these on each hand, and we know what he used these for. What's in his mouth? What's in his mouth right there? Yeah. These made great fishing hooks. So with one of these on each hand, he could go up to the stream or river or lake and catch fish. We know this because we actually found a fossilized baryonyx that had fossilized fish scales in the belly cavity. Do you want one? Look up in the gift shop. We have these in the gift shop. Yeah, we've got all kinds of claws and teeth and even coprolite up in the gift shop. So you can give somebody a piece of poop. But keep your eyes open, guys. I want to show you what I mean. See this rock? Looks like a plain ordinary rock that most of us would walk right by, never even look at it. All right, I'm going to put a little water on it. Now take a look at it. And you're going to see there are all kinds of fossils buried in that rock. So I want you all to stay curious and to keep asking questions. We have discovered a little over 750 species, but we believe there are at least 750 more to discover. 15 brand new species were named last year. So far this year, 10 have been named, one of which was found by a 7-year-old boy. Yeah, out on the hike with his parents. We have another one at 2:30. Did you like this? You know what was really cool about that little boy discovering the dinosaur though? They named it after him.
Oh,
They did.
what is it?
It's called the Chileosaurus Diego Suarezi. It was found in Chile by Diego Suarez. Now it was just named this year. He found it when he was 7. He's 18 now. It took 11 years for them to fully research the bones and vet the bones against all the other known species to make certain that it was a brand new species. And it is a member of the Tyrannosaur family, but it was small, covered in feathers, and it was an herbivore.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. So I read something recently about how, no, I watched a documentary, how they were talking about how they thought there were all these different species, but now they're looking back and the babies looked different than the adults, and they're really the same dinosaur.
That is a theory that is out there now. For example, the Nano-Tyrannosaur. There is a big debate right now going on whether the Nano-Tyrannosaur is indeed another species or is it a baby T-Rex.
Yeah.
Now, we do know in some cases that there are definitely different species, but as our science improves and as we continue to find more specimens.
Unlike the Triceratops and the Torosaurus out here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people think the Torosaurus, which is right out here, is a different dinosaur than the Triceratops, but what we're kind of finding out now is that the Torosaurus is the adult version of the Triceratops. Yeah, because what happens is the frill got thin and it became a membrane around it instead of a hard surface.
Right. Yeah, that's a great documentary. I forget what it was that I watched.
Yeah, and
That's great.
but we're finding out new stuff. I mean, we know now that some dinosaurs had feathers, but the first fossil discovered was in 1996 in China. So that's a fairly recent discovery. It may have been a theory before, but now we have proof. And we have since found a lot more that we know the raptors, all of the raptors, Velociraptor, Utah raptor, Dakota raptor, all of the raptors had feathers. All of them. You know, and that's, you look at the first Jurassic Park movie and Velociraptor is this big with no feathers. We now know Velociraptor was only about this big, covered in feathers. So, I mean,
Kind of like a big turkey.
yeah.
Big hungry turkey.
Big hungry, vicious hungry turkey. Absolutely, so.
Well, thank you. This is awesome.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's so fortunate that you all are here.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day, guys.
Cool. What do you think, bud?
Okay, Michael, which way?
Wait a minute.
Okay, let's go around
Gotta go over film that sign.
Go ahead, I'll wait.
Go into the skeleton garden. See what the bones look like inside.